Well, howdy. The pistol you are looking at is the standard cavalry pistol of the Austro Hungarian Empire of World War I. This is called the 1907 Roth Steyr. It's in an 8mm proprietary cartridge not used on any other pistol before or since. It has about the equivalent power of a .32 auto. You would think that you could do this with just a standard pistol, like a blowback, but no. They didn't know better back then, so they made this one of the strongest locking systems ever developed, but it's really not necessary. Anyway, this was developed by an engineer named Karl Krenke in the Austro Hungarian Empire, in a section of what is now Czechoslovakia, or the Czech Republic. It's called the Roth Steyr because Roth was the financier who provided the money to build it, and it was built at the Steyrworks factory, and therefore Roth Steyr. When C.N. Arsenal did a history of this pistol, which, by the way, I would suggest seeing, he called it the Roth Krenke because he wants to honor Karl Krenke, the developer of this design. I'm just going to show you how to field strip the thing. First of all, cock it. This is how you cock it. If you were going to load it, you would load it with a stripper clip down here. The stripper clips cost a fortune. But to field strip, push this button, spin off this end cap. The end cap reveals the firing pin and the firing pin spring. Now, this is not suggested in the manuals, but what you would do is put back that field cap a couple of twists, then drop the bolt with that holding it in place. Come up to the front here, push this pin down and across, then pull it all the way out. This reveals the barrel and the barrel's, well, I don't know what you'd call it, the front cap. Then hold it like this, take the end cap back out, and the bolt comes off. This also reveals the side plate, or releases it. This is the magazine. I would not suggest taking it out because it's a real bear to get it back in again. This is the bolt, which is just this most amazingly complicated piece of engineering. The way this was made was, obviously it's round, so it was cut on a lathe. Then to get all of these flat areas, they had to mill this. Well, this was before the knee mill was invented, so they used a shaper or a what's it called? A planer, and you just lock it down in a vise, and then have the shaper come along and cut all the flats on this wherever a flat is needed. You could also cut out these troughs here. Then you drill it out with a drill, I suppose. And the rest of this, if you were building this today, the degree of complexity is such that it would take a fortune to, oh, I gotta put the side plate back on. The pin on the spring, here's an example. Pin on this spring intersects with this hole on the side plate and holds it in place. The degree of complexity and the amount of engineering that went into this is such that you would never be able to do this today commercially with any success. It would cost a fortune. And nope, it's going to be this way. There we go. I'm going to put in the firing pin. Oops, the other way around. Firing pin spring, end cap, screw it back down. Pull it back, and then continue until it's correctly positioned. This shows that it's cocked. It's actually the end of the firing pin. And this has a trigger very similar to a Glock. Matter of fact, I think it's the very first version of the safety trigger. Watch when I pull it. Notice the end of the firing pin here comes back slightly, and then is sent forward when you pull all the way. The pull on this is about 20 pounds. It's really a really hard trigger, but you can see it's a safety trigger the same way that the Glock has. It's the only safety on the device. We have two controls here. One, this is the one that drops the bolt, but this one here releases the magazine. So it's a weird system, and that one's kind of stuck at the moment. Well, anyway, yeah. Oh, that's it. Okay. Anyway, that's the Roth Steyr. An interesting pistol, in my opinion.